Hey everyone. A very popular Proverbs in the Bible is Proverbs 4 verse 7. And it says, "Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all thy getting, get understanding." And I wanted to talk to you guys about the importance of getting understanding, getting clarity, getting to a place where there is no question, there is no doubt. A lot of the times when we are confronted with situations that we don't understand, we can tend to allow our mind and our thoughts to create ideas or create narratives because we're trying to process and make things make sense, right? It's one of the reasons why, while there's so many, this goes into the different layers of truth, right? And the different layers of reality. But we understand that there is a non-duality to the universe, right? That in all things we are just one. We're just one thing. But the mind is set up in a very dualistic way because that's the way it understands. That's the way it can process and make sense of things. It can't really, the mind is not set up to function in non-duality. It just isn't. Up, down, left, right, good, bad, etc. And that's just the way it is. And because that's how we need to understand it that way, that's how life presents for us. So now when we don't understand something, another thing that we tend to do in our thinking is create something that makes sense or draw conclusions that make sense because we don't understand. That's why the importance of understanding something and getting clarity is so important. Getting wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all you're getting, get understanding. And everything that you get understanding of it. That way they leave no doubt and no confusion. And this is not me just promoting the Bible, but a lot of us come from the church. A lot of us, that's where our foundations were laid for some reason, for one reason or another, when we chose to come into this world, to come and incarnate here. We decided on a path that was religious based first before coming into our spirituality and understanding. A lot of us have that base. And so, I know that while we have more understanding and more wisdom now about a lot of things, still there are some, you don't throw, what is it? That's the saying, you don't throw the baby out with the bath water, which is a weird saying, to be quite honest with you. I never did quite understand that one. But you take the meat and spit out the bones, essentially, right? And so wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all that getting, get understanding. Clarity is important. Confusion. The Bible says that God is not an author of confusion. Like when you're in a confused space, when you don't have understanding, there is room for influence. There is room for negative thinking. There is room for a lot of things that may not be in your best interests, right? I will take you through a potential example of something. If you're at a job, right? And there are 4 coworkers at this job with you, and you all are supposed to be doing the same thing or around the same thing. I'm going to use something that I know well, right? Let's say you're a software engineer and there's 4 other engineers. So there's 5 engineers, right? And you all should be getting about the same, workload, but you find that you're always getting the extra. You're always getting stuff dumped on you. You may now, because you don't understand why this is happening, you have now no clarity of the situation, may feel as though you're being picked on. Your boss doesn't like you. Why is she doing this to you? It doesn't make any sense. Everybody else gets to leave at 5, but you're having to stay till 8 and 9. Why is this happening? And those questions, normal. They're normal questions, normal, wonderings of things, right? But because there is no clarity, there is no understanding, it leaves your mind open to what? She must not like me. She must not, I might be getting hazed. This is not fair. What you probably don't understand is that you're the best engineer she's ever seen. She trusts you in a way that she doesn't trust the others. And yes, it might be unfair, but she values you so much. She raves about you to all the other higher ups and managers. You are not privy to this information. And so therefore, you're left to your own devices and thinking up whatever. There's no clarity. There's confusion. And in that confusion, you may do or say something inappropriate or say something with the intention of defending yourself, right? But it might cause damage because it's not coming from a place of understanding. It's not coming from a place of clarity. It's coming from a place of confusion. It's coming from a place of frustration because there's been lack of communication, effective communication as to why things are happening the way that they're happening. And it's not necessarily your fault. I think in this particular scenario, it would have been best for the boss to convey that. But because the boss did not provide that clarity, right? It opened the door for some things, but it also is your responsibility to ask for that clarity before you start drawing up conclusions. And you know what? There are situations where you may ask for, clarity and not receive it. And I can understand the frustrations behind that. But at that point, if you've requested the clarity and you have not received the clarity, then whatever happens is not really on you. The person has left you to be in a space of confusion, so it's not your fault necessarily. But if you don't ask for clarity, then it is your fault because that's your responsibility to obtain for yourself clarity. It doesn't say wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom. And with all their giving of you wisdom or giving of you, in all your, receiving information, understand. No, you don't wait for people to just give. Sometimes you have to request. Sometimes you have to say, hey, I need this because this is important and something's not right here. Not necessarily in that kind of way, but with that understanding. I need clarity on this. Can you provide that for me, please, before things get twisted? Our minds create scenarios all the time because we don't have understanding. We don't have clarity. And so I'm going to urge every single one of you, in all thy getting, get understanding. In all thy getting, get understanding. And I have to apply that myself. Recently something happened between me and a friend, and I don't know if it was done on purpose. I don't know if they meant to do what they did. I don't know if they even realize what's happened, and I found myself creating, a reason as to why, and I don't know. In all actuality, I don't know why the situation happened. I just know that I was left feeling a bit confused. Not necessarily upset, but confused. And because I don't have the understanding. I don't have clarity as to why this situation happened between me and this friend. And so it is my responsibility to get that understanding. It is my responsibility to get that clarity. And if I don't get it, then it's on me. I can't even be mad at the person, really. So in all you're getting, get understanding. In all of your getting, get understanding. That's the beginning steps of wisdom, really. That is it right there. And so I'm going to urge you all to really, really, really be mindful. Be mindful of when your mind is creating situations, creating stories, because it lacks understanding and lacks clarity. And one thing about me is I need to understand. I've had arguments and I'm just like, I don't understand. And if I don't understand, we have a problem. You need to make me understand what you're talking about, what's happening. I like to understand. That's just the way I function. You know what I mean? And so I will always try to get my understanding because I know it's important for me. If I don't, then left to your own devices, you'll create another scenario that may not be the case, as I stated or showed or illustrated in the situation with the software engineers. So when you find yourself creating those stories, stop for a second and ask yourself, is this truth? Is this for sure? Or is it that I don't have clarity? Is it that I don't understand? And therefore, my mind creates, because that's what it does. It has to fill in those gaps. It has to fill those things. It's trying to make you okay. Your mind is always trying to make you okay, believe it or not, in some good ways and in some bad ways. You know what I mean? And it doesn't understand, so it tries to create the understanding in the best way. But it's creating that understanding from what? From your own memories, from your own experiences. And that can be very, very dangerous, especially if you've had a lot of traumatic experiences, because it's pulling from what data pool? You know what I mean? Our mind is a computer, right? And in the same way that we have storage on a computer, our mind has a storage. It keeps track of everything that has ever happened. And so that's how we pull from those things. There's nothing new under the sun. It pulls from those things to help facilitate that. So yes, once again, I'm just going to reiterate, in all of your get understanding. This is super, super, super duper important, especially if you're trying to facilitate an environment of safe relationships, you know what I mean? And healthy relationships, you know, and healthy mind state and healthy well-being. Your well-being should always be, you know, your goal, to facilitate good well-being for myself. And the only way to do that is to get understanding, get clarity. Don't let your mind run amok unnecessarily. You know what I mean? So that is what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. I hope that you all are doing well. And if you are not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button and make sure that you hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. And I will catch you guys in the next one.